Okay, so once again, this time our topic is about knowledge management, which is too important and one part of the accreditation in Philippine Quality Award. No? So from insurance and benefits information to companies' policies to onboarding and beyond, human resource organizations are the keepers of some of a company's most vital information. And the information employees must often need access to, no? Without the right solution in place, dispersing information in answering questions can take up an inordinate amount of HR team's time pushing more critical tasks down that to-do list, no? Excuse. Provisioning an HR knowledge management solution is a great way to HR teams to recapture some of that precious time by making information and answers simple and easy for employees to find themselves, no, when the right HR knowledge management solution is fully implemented and used wisely. Now, HR teams will wonder how they ever operated without one. No? Again, the human resource knowledge management is the practice of centralizing all human resource documents, policies, information, and knowledge in making the vital information easy for anyone in the company to access and update from anywhere. So the key to this central repository is that it allows employees, regardless of department, location, or tenure, to quickly access the HR information they need via 24/7 self-service portal. And this reduces frustration for employees, the chance of getting outdated or misinformation, and workload for human resource staff who no longer have to answer the same questions over and over again. So, well, it may seem like information decentralization isn't that big of a deal, when it's spread across an entire organization, it can have a major impact, no? A recent study on workplace knowledge and productivity found that 60% of employees spend 5 hours or more per week waiting for information, while HR being a major source of vital information for employees across an organization. Human resource knowledge management is an easy way to reduce that bottleneck. No? In today's business world, human resource management is open about finding the right answers to important questions and quickly. So human resource knowledge management solutions are a simple, effective, streamlined answer to that growing challenge. Okay, to give us more details about the topic, let us all welcome our presenter. Go ahead, sir.
Hello, good afternoon, and thank you so much for that well introduction. So today I will be discussing two topics. The first one will be the knowledge management, followed by the high performance work system. So let's focus first with the knowledge management. So to start, let me introduce to you myself. My name is Brian Paulo de Macolangan, and let's proceed with the learning objectives or the coverage of this topic. Of course, first one, we will be defining what is knowledge management in human resource management, followed by the importance of knowledge management in HRM and in an organization. And lastly, we will also discuss what are the pros and cons in having a knowledge management system in an organization. Now, the big question to start my report, what is knowledge management? So by definition, knowledge management is simply a systematic approach to getting an organization to make the best possible use of its intellectual capital in order to sustain competitive advantage. So intellectual capital are information and data within an organization. So in a simpler understanding, what is knowledge management? It is a process of capturing, distributing, and effectively using knowledge. It was defined by Tom Davenport in 1994. So what do we mean by capturing, distributing, and effectively using knowledge? So in human resource department, KM or knowledge management is anything that we use to store and manage knowledge. So sa modern era natin, we are now adapting with the new technology. Whereas kung dati more on envelope, more on folders for filing, this time we are now adapting to the new technology, whereas there are a lot of system or business solution that the HR are using. Just like kahit yung mga simpleng Google form or yung mga Google Drive, we could consider that as knowledge management tool na ginagamit ng organization, specifically for human resource department. Now, again, those datas or those files that are stored and managed are documents, emails, and many more. Now, basically, knowledge management is any form of communication that conveys important information about your organization. Whether it is in private or in public organization, lahat yan merong knowledge management tools na ginagamit for faster, reliable, and of course, uh, quicker getting of information or data para sa mga members of the organization. This will help an organization in making a system that makes it easy to learn, summarize, store, and retrieve knowledge within the organization. Now, having a knowledge management in a company would help in increasing efficiency and increasing productivity in an organization. Again, this can be achieved by working smarter. Now, a good HR knowledge management must have, yung nabanggit ko kanina, new technology, transparency, and collaborative culture. When you say new technology, again, adapting to the new era or the new technology, especially this pandemic, dahil nag-shift na nga tayo with the digitized or online platform, mas importante ngayon na marunong mag-adapt yung organization, especially the HR department, with the new technology na madaling ma-access ng mga employees, madaling ma-access ng mga leaders ng company, madaling ma-access ng members of the organization. Transparency, just like in relating the new technology, kailangan transparent siya and visible siya, accessible siya with the members of the organization. And again, collaborative culture. Dito na pumapasok yung there must be a two-way response kung saan you give the information and you get feedback from the information that was given by the department. Now, what are the two knowledge na nakikita natin, or what are the knowledges that are being exchanged within an organization? The first one is the tacit knowledge, and the second one is explicit knowledge. Tacit knowledge is more of a difficult knowledge na ikukuha natin within the organization. Why? Because tacit knowledge is mostly located within an organization that is something known and experienced. Of course, it is typical to be disclosed and complete disclosed because tacit knowledge is in the mind and brain or inherent in a person who acquired through experience, ideas, perceptions, and expertise in his work. While on the other hand, explicit knowledge is more about knowledge that has been recorded and documented. So, ito yung mga information na madaling mag-gather, madaling i-store, madaling i-manage, and can also be interpreted as the knowledge and experience of how to. So tulad, maganda example dyan yung mga manual, yung mga HR or organization policies kung saan it is recorded and documented and easily presented to the members of the organization. Unlike yung first one natin, yung ating tacit knowledge, individual knowledge ito ng members of the organization na sometimes mahirap makuha because individual members of the organization depends on the compensation na nakukuha nila. So ibig sabihin, if they are not compensated well, they cannot share the information, they cannot share the knowledge to the organization. Now, what is the purpose of a good human resource knowledge management in an organization? Of course, if we have a good HR knowledge management, this will make organizational information available and accessible to employees in HR. Of course, this will also makes it easy for employees and HR to find the right expertise within the organization. Ibig sabihin, hindi na nila kailangan mag-isip pa kung sino ba tong magaling dito, sino ba yung fit for this job, sino bang expert dun sa specific task na kailangan ng organization. So, knowledge management store those information para madali siyang i-access kung sino yung dapat napuntahan na expert with that specific task or job. Of course, knowledge management also provides access to a knowledge base that enables lessons to be learned so that the same problem never needs to be solved twice. this pertains to the problems that occurred before, that nabigyan na ng solution or nabigyan na ng karagtagang action para in the near future, kung mangyari man ulit yon, alam na ng mga employees, alam na ng mga members of the organization what to do with that instance or scenario. Of course, the next one is it builds an in-knowledge sharing kung saan, again, sinabi natin kanina that there should be a two-way, whereas the human resource department personnel and the members of the organization will have a feedback answers for those knowledge or information that was given. Now, to achieve this, HR must implement a system where information are accessible. This can be through effective documentation. It could be a filing lang, like hindi siya just like a traditional, hindi na kailangan ng internet, ng computer, ng digital platforms. Kahit yung simpleng pag-store lang ng information, ng documents, ng files natin in a filing cabinet, that is an effective documentation. But if your company or organization is a more innovative, mas maganda na merong mga portal, merong mga websites, merong mga connectivity just like in LAN or internet. And of course, knowledge must be disseminated with the members of the organization effectively. Kasi kung walang dissemination of information, hindi ma-receive ng mga employees, hindi ma-receive ng mga leaders, hindi ma-receive ng members of the organization yung knowledge or information na kailangan or binibigay ng HR. And of course, once the members of the organization receive the information, they must have a feedback and continual improvement. When you say feedback and continual improvement, based from the answers or feedback of the employees or the members of the organization, doon natin malalaman if there should be an area na kailangang i-improve or merong area or certain area na kailangang i-retain. Now, what are the advantages and disadvantages of having a knowledge management? Having a knowledge management improve agility, just like what Dr. Melo said, it is for faster transfer of information. It can also solve problems and make decisions more quickly and can support employees' growth and development. Specialists, again, can share their expertise, and knowledge management promotes better communication within an organization. It is easier to find, use, and reuse relevant information and can help recognize market trends and spot problems. And lastly, knowledge management can get the maximum use out of teams' existing skills and expertise. Now, the disadvantages are, kailangan ma-motivate natin yung members of the organization to use and share the knowledge. And of course, tulad nga na sinabi natin kanina, mahirap ito kasi there are some employees or there are some members of the organization who are not willingly giving out the information or knowledge that they know because they depend on the compensation they get, and if they are not being compensated the way they want to be, they are not easily sharing those knowledge and information with the organization, because exchanging of knowledge and information within the organization helps the organization to achieve common goal. So kung wala yon, kung hindi present yon, kung hindi present na willing yung employee or members of the organization to share those information, mahirapan tayong mag-meet in the middle. Mahirapan tayong mag-meet kung ano yung goal ng company at kung ano yung goal ng employee. Of course, having a knowledge management should be pertains to the people, because yung people or yung members of the organization are the one who are capturing and storing the knowledge na binibigay nila for the organization. So, employees and the members of the organization should know how to capture and record business knowledge efficiently. Kasi kung hindi nila alam yun, or hindi nila alam, na-capture nila pero hindi nila alam how to use those knowledge, it will be hindi siya magiging importante or magiging useless siya. So the knowledge na na-gather nila, kung hindi nila kaya or hindi sila marunong, hindi nila alam kung paano gamitin yon, magiging useless yung information and knowledge na na-gather nila. Of course, having knowledge management, have to choose and implement a system that works with your company's existing processes and fits with your business strategy. Kung kukuha ka lang basta-basta na or mag-implement ka lang basta-basta ng knowledge management system na hindi familiar yung members of the organization or mahirap siyang i-access or mahirap intindihin, mababaliwala yung purpose ng knowledge management. Kasi, for example, nag-implement ka ng knowledge management ora-orada, basta-basta, na hindi mo itinitrain or hindi mo in-introduce sa members of the organization kung paano gamitin yon, hindi siya magiging effective for the employees kasi una-una, hindi nila alam kung paano gamitin yon. Pangalawa, hindi nila magagamit yon. And pangatlo, pag kailangan na talaga nilang gamitin yon, hindi nila alam paano i-access yon. So again, kailangan organization, whether it's in private or in public firm, they should know how to implement it and how to introduce it to the members of the organization. And lastly, knowledge management is a continuous process. It is not enough for experts to enter their information. They have to go back and update it regularly as things change. Tulad nga ng sinabi ng previous reporter kanina, there are a lot of changes and there are a lot of implemented rules or policies na in-implement before na kailangang i-update dahil nag-a-adapt tayo with the new technology, with the new era, especially like today. We are in the midst of the pandemic. So there are certain areas na kailangan nating i-innovate. There are certain areas na kailangan nating i-apply with the new normal. So yung having a knowledge management system in an organization should always adapt to the new normal or the update of the, again, kailangan na mag-adapt doon sa kung ano yung na-experience ng employees, kung ano na yung meron ngayon. Yan. Alright, so in conclusion, human resource knowledge management helps organization in maximizing the value of their organizational knowledge assets. So that concludes my first topic, knowledge management.
Okay, so again, as what our presenter mentioned, knowledge management is very important actually in the field of human resource management. So this is all may make sense and sound enticing, but without taking action to implement human resource knowledge management, nothing will ever change. Creating a shared drive or in-house human resource management system may seem like a lower barrier to entry, but overall it won't give organizations the level of control and insight they're likely looking for. So finding a service-based solution will give HR teams truly effective human resource knowledge management. So when thinking about HR knowledge management, create a team that will outline the expectation in scope of the project, then find the right solution. And this team can also be responsible for outlining the implementation strategy and creating a plan for training to encourage company-wide adoption. A few things to consider during the planning phase based on our presenter, documenting everything that will need to live or to live in the human resource knowledge management platform, creating a general framework for how that information will be organized, outlining anticipated role-based access controls and customizable permissions, and creating a strategy and timeline for populating the human resource knowledge management platform, and planning company-wide training on the new system. Okay. Again, successful human resource knowledge management platforms are highly sophisticated solution. Instead of spending precious time and resources building a basic portal in-house, team up with a proven service provider who already understand how a great human resource knowledge management platform should work.